Hi, this is Rob. I'm going to be showing you how to do the exercises that go with the video lesson, long division. Are you ready? Let's get started. Our first problem is 96 divided by 4. And if you remember in the video, the secret to long division is to go digit by digit. And with division, we start with the digits on the left and move to the digits on the right. Unlike multiplication and addition and subtraction, where you start with the ones place digit and keep going left. So in our case, that means we start with the 9. So we ask, how many 4s does it take to make 9 or almost 9? Well, 2 4s is 8. That's almost 9. So we put 2 in the answer line, and we line it up with the digit that we're dividing up. So we line it up right above the 9. And now we multiply 2 times 4. That gives us 8. We write it underneath the number we're dividing up. And then we subtract it from that. So we have 9 minus 8. That gives us 1. And now we need to bring down a copy of the next digit over. We move on to the digit to the right, which is this 6. We bring a copy of it down to combine with the 1. So now we have 16 here. And so we're going to divide up this 16 now. So we ask, how many 4s does it take to make 16 or almost 16? Well, that's a nice one because exactly 4 4s will make 16. So we put 4 in the answer line and we line it up with the 6 that we have here that we're dividing up, because this is, even though we're dividing up the 16, this is the digit that we're dividing up. So now we multiply this 4 times that 4, gives us 16. We subtract it from that 16, that gives us 0, which shows that we have no remainder. So we're done. So 96 divided by 4 equals 24. Now we have 81 divided by 3. And once again, we go digit by digit, starting with the digit on the left. So we ask, how many 3s does it take to make 8 or almost 8? Well, 2 3s make 6, and that's almost 8. And 3 3s would be 9, which would be too many. So we know that 2 is going to be our answer. So we have it lined up with the 8 that we're dividing up. Then we multiply 2 times 3. That gives us 6. We put it underneath the digit we're dividing up and subtract it. So 8 minus 6 gives us 2. Now we need to bring down a copy of the next digit. We're moving on to the next step in the division. So we're working with this digit here. We need to bring a copy of it down to combine with the remainder from the previous step. So now we have 21 that we're dividing up. So how many 3s does it take to make 21 or almost 21? And you should remember that 3 times 7 equals 21. So we know that 7 3s will be 21. So we put that in the answer line, lined up with the 1. And then we do 7 times 3, 21, and we subtract it from that. And we have 0 as our remainder. So we don't need to put a remainder in the answer line because it's 0. So we see that 81 divided by 3 equals 27. And here we have 198 divided by 6. And we go digit by digit, starting with the digit on the left and going right. And the first digit on the left is a 1, and 1 is too small to divide by 6. So we can just skip that step and combine the 1 and the 9 for 19. Or if you want, you can write a 0 above the 1 and move on. I'm just going to leave it blank for now so it's easier to read the answer. So we combine these two digits for 19, and then we ask, how many 6s does it take to make 19 or almost 19? And 3 6s will make 18, and that's almost 19. So we'll put a 3, and we put it directly above the 9 because that's the digit that we're dividing up. We're combining it with the 1 from the digit before, and so line it up with the 9. So we have 3 times 6 equals 18. We put that underneath the 19 that we're dividing up and subtract it. 19 minus 18 equals 1. And now we bring down a copy of that 8. We move on to the next digit, the 8. We bring a copy of it down to our remainder. And so now we have 18. So we ask, how many 6s does it take to make 18 or almost 18? Well, we know from the previous step that it takes 3 6s to make 18. And 3 times 6 is 18. We put that under there to subtract. 18 minus 18 equals 0. So we have no remainder. And we see that 198 divided by 6 equals 33. Here we have 367 divided by 2. And we'll take it digit by digit, starting with the digit on the left and moving right. So we ask, how many 2's does it take to make 3, or almost 3? Well, only one 2 can fit in 3. So we put a 1 above the 3, and then we multiply 1 times 2, and we put it underneath the 3 and subtract it. 3 minus 2 equals 1. So now our remainder is 1. And now we need to bring down a copy of the next digit over. Move on to the next division step. So we're working with the 6 here. We bring a copy down, put it along, combine it with the 1 that we got from subtracting. So now we're asking, how many 2's does it take to make 16, or almost 16? Well, exactly 8 2's will make 16. So we put an 8 in our answer line directly above the 6. We have 8 times 2 equals 16. We subtract that, and that gives us 0. So we move on to the next digit. Next digit is 7, and we bring a copy of it down. Even though this is a 0, we still combine it with our next digit over. So now we just ask, how many 2's does it take to make 7, or almost 7? And 3 2's will make 6, and that's almost 7. So we put a 3 in the answer line. Then we do 3 times 2 is 6. And you line it up. The 6 is a ones place digit. So you line it up with the ones place digit of the remainder we're dealing with here. And you subtract it. And 7 minus 6 equals 1. So we have a remainder of 1. And there's no more digits. So this remainder needs to get put in our answer. So we write a R for remainder and the 1 right here. So 367 divided by 2 equals 183 with a remainder of 1. For this problem, we have 5,620 divided by 5. Now we have a 4-digit number, so that means there's going to be 4 division steps. So it's really important to keep everything lined up so we don't get confused. All right? As always, we start with the leftmost digit and go digit by digit. All right? So we have 5 divided by 5. So, how many 5's does it take to make 5? Well, it takes 1 5 to make 5. So we put 1 in our answer line. And 1 times 5 is 5. Subtract that, 0. So we move on to the next digit. 6, we bring a copy of that down to combine with our 0. So it's just 6. So now we're asking, how many 5's does it take to make 6, or almost 6? Well, it takes 1 5 to make 6. So we put that in the answer line. 1 times 5 is 5. Put that underneath the 6. Subtract it. 6 minus 5 equals 1. So we have a remainder of 1. And we move on to the next digit. Our next division step is this 2. We bring a copy of that 2 down to combine with our 1 that we had as a remainder from the previous step. So now we're asking, how many 5's does it take to make 12, or almost 12? Well, 2 5's is 10. That's almost 12. So we put a 2 in our answer line, and we have 2 times 5 equals 10. Just make sure you have everything lined up nice and neat here. So we have 10 underneath the 12, and we subtract it. 12 minus 10 equals 2. Put that down there, and we move on to our next digit. Our next digit is a 0, but even though the 0 itself, has no value, it's very important to this here. When we bring down a copy of it, changes the 2 into a 20, so it's a very important step to remember. So now we're asking, how many 5's does it take to make 20, or almost 20? And 4 5's makes 20. So we put that in our answer line. Then our next step is to multiply 4 times 5. 4 times 5 is 20. We bring it underneath this 20 to subtract it. And 20 minus 20 equals 0. And I ran out of room. Sorry about that. But that is a 0. In fact, here, let me push up the paper like magic. And you can see that step there. All right. So there, I'll put a comma in here as well so it's easier to read. And we can see that 5,620 divided by 5 equals 1,124. And for our last problem, we have 89,019 divided by 7. Now this is a 5-digit number we're dividing up, so that means there's going to be 5 division steps. And it also means that we need to be very neat and organized so we can keep track of what goes where. And it also means that I'm going to have to write a little smaller than usual so I don't run out of room. So as always, we start with the left digit of the number we're dividing up. It's an 8. So we ask how many 7s does it take to make 8? It takes 1 7 to make 8. So we put that in our answer line right above the 8. Then we have 1 times 7 equals 7. Put that down there and subtract it. 8 minus 7 equals 1. We move on to the next digit, 9. We bring a copy of that 9 down. So now we have 19 that we're dividing up. So we ask how many 7s does it take to make 19? Well, 2 7s makes 14. That's almost 19. So 2 times 7 equals 14. Subtract that. 19 minus 14 equals 5. So we put a 5 right there. Move on to the next digit, and it's a 0. Even though it's just a placeholder, it's an important placeholder, we need to bring down a copy of that. That makes that 50. So now we ask how many 7s does it take to make 50, or almost 50. And 7 7s will make 49, and that is almost 50. So we put 7 directly above the 0. So we have 7 times 7 equals 49. Put that there and subtract it. 50 minus 49 is 1. So we move on to our next digit in the number we're dividing up. That digit is a 1. So we need to bring a copy of that 1 down with our remainder. So now we have 11. And 7 goes into 11 one time. Like how many 7s does it take to make 11? Or almost 11 is 1. 1 times 7 equals 7. Write that down here and subtract it. 11 minus 7 equals 4. So we put a 4 here. Move on to the next digit is a 9. So we bring a copy of that 9 down. Now we have 49. And well, this is nice because how many 7s does it take to make 49? It takes exactly 7 7s to make 49. So 7 times 7, 49. Subtract it. And 0 is our remainder. Perfect. Oh, I just ran out of room again. Here, let me move that up. There, now there's plenty of room. All right. So our final answer for 89,019 divided by 7 is 12,717.